Kat, great to see you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Congratulations on your movie, What a Feeling, screening at BFI Flare this year. Are you excited, nervous, bit of both?
A bit of both. It's going to be the world premiere, and it's very, very exciting. I'm super happy that we're going to premiere in London. I mean, what better festival to premiere at?
Oh, it's great. So for those who haven't seen it, can you tell us a little bit about the story of this movie?
Yeah, it's about two women in the middle of their life, so about 50. Marie-Therese is a more conservative German living in Vienna and gets left by her husband on the 20th wedding anniversary. And she stumbles into a lesbian bar and meets Fa, who's, let's say, a more outgoing, lively woman, lesbian. And they meet. It's not love at first sight, I would say, but eventually romance, and then complications develop.
I'm smiling because just you talking about it is just bringing back those memories. I saw it yesterday and I thought it was charming. I thought it was smart, really funny, and just engaging all the way through. I thought it was entertaining. It's a really clever mix as well. Because I don't think comedy and drama, especially when you touch on sensitive issues, I don't think people always get it right, but I think you've got it right. Was it challenging to get that balance?
I feel I should be saying yes. But I had so much time preparing for it. I wrote the script in the pandemic. So I had so much time to think about it and work on it that it seemed to come pretty easy. I mean, I say that now. I mean, it's 15 drafts of a script. So
yeah,
during the process, I didn't think it was easy. But now it seems, it was. But then I also had great actors who are both great at comedy and drama. So that made it
they really
easy.
are great. I love that it focused on two middle-aged gay women as well, and kind of women exploring sexuality as well as relationships and experiences, because you don't always see middle-aged, particularly gay women. You often see a lot of young couples, so I think it's great that you're throwing the spotlight on these two women.
Yeah, that was important to me because I was stuck in Vienna in the pandemic, and I realized that in Austrian television or Austrian movies in general, there's not much representation. And because I'd lived in New York for 20 years, it was never an issue for me because in the US television, obviously, it was different 20 years ago, but now it's very prevalent. But again, then also in American television, it's very much about younger people, in their teens, in their early 20s, and the coming of age. But nobody really explores the midlife crisis that you can have and the coming of age of an older person where they're, suddenly their world falls apart. And very often it does fall apart in their 50s because relationships end or marriages end. Totally. And then they have to redefine themselves. So I wanted to explore that and see how does someone with more life experience and who thinks they know themselves deal with something new being thrown at them.
Is it easier, do you think, to be a director as well as the writer? Because you've obviously taken on both roles for this. Because I guess you're more in control if you're doing both things. Is that right? Or is it more troublesome?
I have to say I'm a very reluctant writer because I'm a horrible dyslexic. So writing doesn't come easy. It's, I have the dyslexia under control. Thankfully there's autocorrect and all that stuff. But it's a more tedious process for me. So when it comes to directing, obviously it's easier because you know the material so well. You've lived with such a long time. On the other hand, I found it really stressful to come up with lines on the spot because writing doesn't come so easy to me, and to wear both hats and be like, okay, so we need different lines now and we're shortly before production or we're in the middle of a shooting day. So I found that a little stressful. So I'd rather would have had someone who could do that for me at that time, but it was okay.
And the movie's title obviously references What a Feeling, Irene Cara, the song used in Flashdance, a massive gay classic. Was there an important reason why this was used?
Again, I wish I could say yes. I wish I could be one of those directors who was like, yes, I thought of it. But it actually happened. I was like, this woman is coming to this bar. She's, inebriated. What song would get this very stuck-up person out of her chair and let loose? And there's only handful for that generation of I think of those songs, and it seemed What a Feeling was the best choice. I wasn't married to it in the beginning, and then the more I listened to it when I was like going on late night walks thinking of the script, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fitting.
I love how this movie started off really, I was going to say slapstick. I don't know if I hope that's not insulting, but it started off really laugh out loud funny and hysterical, and there's some real sarcasm, and the reactions, the expressions the actors are using, I just thought was perfect. And then as the film goes on, it kind of becomes more poignant, and you don't lose the humour completely, but I think it's obviously more an important storyline as the film goes on. You're obviously experiencing this love story, so
right.
and the characters experience the love story. So I'm wondering if you felt the need to rein in those funny moments, because I think it totally works. But I love how hilarious it was at the beginning.
I mean, for me, drama and humor are always so close together, right? Even in the most dramatic scenes, I think in life, you try to find the humor. So that's why I was trying to do this balance to tackle, more serious subjects within the cloak of comedy, because I think then sometimes it's easier digestible and people can relate to it a little bit better than if it just hit them over the head with a lot of drama. I mean, I love dramas, but I always feel that drama and comedy are really they need each other.
I completely agree, because I think catastrophes are hilarious, and everybody laughs at those moments, because I think, like you say, people relate to those catastrophes.
Yeah, I mean, we all have
it's
them.
funny.
I mean, I'm sure you've had moments where you're like crying and then suddenly you're like laughing because you just look yourself in the mirror and you look utterly ridiculous,
Totally. And I loved it. And I suppose as the film goes on, because there are more serious subjects in that story, you have to rein that comedy in. So I think for that reason it works.
Yeah, you have to tone it down a bit. Yeah,
I love how funny the film is, though. I mean, the performances, like you say, they're very much part of that, and the direction, it's very, very snappy, and it's great to watch. But the performances are brilliant. Can you tell us about the actors in the lead roles? We got Caroline Peters, who plays Marie, and so expressive. I mean, her face is just great. Yeah,
Caroline she's very well known in the German-speaking world, so in Austria and Germany. She's a very accomplished theater actress, and one of the women. It's very hard for people in general, for actors in general, to do physical comedy well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wrote it with her in mind because I think she's one of the, I don't know, top 5, top 10 actresses who can do physical comedy.
She's great.
Very, very well. And drama, obviously, but sometimes that's a little easier. And her comedic timing is just on the spot. And Proshat Madani is a fabulous actress. I've been lucky enough to be friends with her for 25 years. So we worked on the script together. A lot of it is inspired by her family story, and she's the heart of the movie. Because she's funny, sarcastic, and then also so vulnerable, and so open and relatable. So I was very, very lucky to get those two. I mean, I really did with every role get my dream cast, which is also not usual. So I'm a very lucky director.
Yeah, great supporting actors too. Was it a fun movie to make? Because obviously when you're seeing it on screen, it's fun to watch. Was it enjoyable? I'm guessing it was, because all the people in it on the screen looked like they were having a great time.
We had a great time. What was really important to me is to have a really inclusive, respectful set.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in Britain, but there's been a lot of discussion lately here within the German-speaking world in Germany and Austria about the power dynamics and people not getting treated well, the crew not getting treated well. And I hope I can swear, but I had a no asshole policy, because making movies is difficult. It takes a long time. It's hard. The hours are straining. I don't want to be there for, it wasn't 16 hours a day, I'm hyperbolizing, but 12 hours a day and not have a good time.
It's a movie with a big heart. I felt like I've been hugged. That what you would want for your viewers, for the audience? That
was the intention. I wanted a movie that left people hopeful and happy, and hopefully, leaving the theater dancing. That would be my hope.
It was very feel good. And these are tough times. I mean, you only have to watch the news and just see how hideous some of the things that are happening are. So, yeah, it's come at a good time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote it in the pandemic, and I needed a hug in the pandemic. So, that's why I figured even when we come out of the pandemic, people would want something happy, a comedy. Obviously, I couldn't foresee how much worse things were going to get.
Yeah. So it's great timing. Listen, I wish you all the best with the screenings at BFI Flare. What's coming next after? Have you got any other film festivals?
Yeah, we have a film festival in Austria. Then we have the theatrical release in Austria on the 19th of April. Then we're hoping for a theatrical release in Germany later this year. And there are some festivals in the United States, but I can't really talk about that yet.
Okay.
So
to
I
be
can't
revealed
say.
soon.
Yes, but if everybody follows onto Instagram, then they'll be up to date.
Watch this space. We'll be pushing the message as well as soon as we hear anything.
Yes, please do.
So.
Will you be at the BFI Flare?
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there.
Okay. Well, I can't wait. I'll be there, so I hope we get to meet in person.
Hopefully, we'll see you there, face to face.
Face
Kat,
to face.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.